Ben Armstrong from BitBoy Crypto, Tyler Swope, aka Chico Crypto.
The best.
Right, scraping the bottom of the barrel there. But.
Oh yeah,
this is going to be fun.
And last
but BitBoy, you fat. Shut the up.
Guys, they're trying to introduce me. Be quiet. It's a very important moment.
Hey, I'm tired. You invited me.
Make it a good one.
Okay, and last but not the least, producer and journalist Naomi Brockwell. Thanks for joining us, guys.
How many in here show Bybit links to leverage trade to their subs to wreck them, and then say 20,000 of Bitcoin?
What about leveraging? What about shilling Prime XBT? What about shilling Prime XBT and then deleting it off your channel and then pretending like you never did it? What about that?
I said I'm sorry about that.
You guys are gonna have a big problem with him in the chat. I'm just telling you guys, you're gonna have a big problem trying to get anything done with Chico in this chat.
You invited me.
Wow.
I recommend using the mute button liberally, if you will. But this is also entertaining, so please continue fighting.
I really don't want to be here. I think most of you are actually terrible for the space. You guys hype stuff to beyond belief. You're not realistic. You show leverage trading. I did. I showed it once and I deleted it because I felt terrible. And you keep doing it and you keep freaking wrecking your people, dude.
Who are you talking
terrible.
to, dude?
I'm talking to Fat BitBoy. Fat BitBoy.
Whoa.
Fat boy, crypto.
So I'm going on here. Let's do this in Vegas.
I'm done. I'm leaving. I just want to say, come watch Real Crypto on my channel in a second. Peace out.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is your boy Christian Israel, and you are tuned into the New Creation Capital Podcast, a place where we discuss what happens in the world today, where we talk about stories that focus on current events, the stock market, and yes, digital assets. Where we go one, we go all. This is a new you, a new future, and a new creation, guys. It is Tuesday, May 12th, 2020, and the Bitcoin halving talk is over. So we are now somehow 1,300 days away, another 4 years away-ish, and we can move forward and to see what's going on. Today's story, we're going to talk about Wall Street talks Bitcoin, and we're going to see if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Again, and then we'll go story by story. But before I continue and go into my whole little spiel, that video in the beginning, I want to thank the professor. That's where I got this from. I'm sure it's other places, but the professor at Professor2234 talked about it. And you see here BitBoy making his comments and so forth. I am fairly new to the social media crypto space. We're going to give the professor a follow. I'm fairly new to this space, but I don't know. I don't get it. And we're going to go over some of the Twitter stuff later today on my Twitter. How people just, I don't understand, man. It's just about sharing information. Why people take things so personally. We'll go into that. Anyway, thank you guys for being here today. If you are currently listening onto one of these platforms, Apple Podcast, Breaker, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, and of course the Anchor platform, you can partner with me or shoot me a message. This is actually episode 46. Yesterday we live streamed, which was pretty cool. I enjoyed live streaming. We live streamed through the Bitcoin halving, and it was fun. I did a 2-hour live stream, and I'm going to start doing live streams again. I am going to live stream and talk about, you let me know in the comments, by the way, today, or shoot me a message on Twitter. I'm going to talk about either the Trace Act tonight on live stream or the Blockchain Institute. I'm thinking about doing some live streams, so let me know if you want to do like a Wednesday live stream, a Thursday live stream, sometime Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, because Friday nights I have my Zoom chats, and Sunday nights I have my Zoom chats as well. So we will start something. Anyway, let me continue my spiel as I click through things. You can also find me at Twitter, at New Creation Cap. And we have gained over 1,000 followers. So before I move on, let me talk about this, right? Yesterday, this was interesting. The last block halving was the last block actually had a decoded message. New York Times, April 9th, 2020, with 2.3 trillion injection. Fed's plan far exceeds 2008 rescue. Mind. That's an interesting message. I don't know how they send messages. I don't really know much about this. Again, I trade Bitcoin and use it for my clients to make money. I'm not really in the space to I don't know, to give Bitcoin FUD or any of that. I just there to make money. It's volatile, so we there to make money. I just thought that was interesting. Let's go to, I had some interesting things going down on my channel. And so, oh yeah, we hit 100-something subscribers on the YouTube. Giving out a Nano Ledger today. In the comments, based on the video, they had the most comments. And I will do that continuously. Every video that gets a certain amount of comments, I'm thinking about giving away, I have an abundant amount of some things. So I'm thinking about giving away some type of crypto. I'm thinking XRP. I think I want to give out some free XRP and change some people's lives. And I'm trying to decide what the amount of comments should be. I'm thinking if I think the highest video I have now is like 12 comments. So I think if we get to 50 comments per video, I will give out 50 XRP. Every video that gets 50 comments. What do you think about that? I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Let me know in the comments and let me know. That's a good way to start it. So yesterday, of course, we counting the Bitcoin halving. We live streamed yesterday, like I said. Anyway, this went up, right? This was interesting. I had this go up the other day. I did not find this. Someone, Dion, in one of my chats gave this to me. And I had so many comments in here. And this is actually, 101 retweets, 323 likes on my Twitter about it. And I just had a whole bunch of comments. Oh, I'm going to definitely go over this later. Who sent this to me? XRP589, at XRP _589 _ Eunice, sent this to me, and I thought this was crazy interesting right here. And I went over this on my live stream, actually, but I'll maybe bring this up on another time. But thank you for this article. If you got a chance, go back and read it and give XRP589 a follow just for that one article. It's pretty cool. He definitely hit me up, and I really appreciate that. He also shipped me this, which we've all seen that before. And then I had, I'm still in the same, I'm still in the same, the chat. And then there was, let's see, this right here. Okay, guys, let's talk about this. So I want to point out that I retweeted this and got it from somebody else, which I give credit to right here, CryptoZilla. I gave credit to this guy for this video, okay? I did not upload it. I did not create it, nor have I looked in the bottom box, and I've seen a lot of comments. I don't even know what it says down there. Point is, if it did or didn't happen during the 98 correction, that's when this video was uploaded here during that correction that night, and it kind of fits 98.66. Okay, maybe it says a different date in the bottom there. People are saying something about 5/7 possibly. I don't even know. But I uploaded it and got it from somebody else. And I just thought the glitch was interesting. Again, it's about a conversation. I'm not saying it's even real news. It's just conversation, guys. This is social media. And I think it's so interesting because we have some people here. Interesting, you should have cashed out. Not taking it seriously whatsoever. And then you got some people, I don't even remember where it is. Some people were talking about it being, anyway, just talking smack about some random video. And guys, I don't really care. I'm just here to share some fun news and give you guys news. My news channel is more about what I find, and I think it's pretty interesting. And so when people are over here, I know some guy wanted credit. I talked about him on my live stream as well, and I thanked him. But I just think it's interesting, guys. So when it comes to this social media thing, guys, just calm down. Just like we see in the beginning. Do I agree with Chico Crypto? Yeah, maybe not. I think he gives the Michael Jordan shrug. And honestly, to me personally, and this is a Bitcoin video, so we're going to go into Bitcoin today. But I think institutional money in this space is a bad thing. Because if cryptocurrency, or Bitcoin specifically, was created to be a pay-to-payment share system, right? It was to pay. So if we type in Bitcoin white paper, right? And we go in here and we look at what Bitcoin's white paper is. What Bitcoin's white paper is supposed to be a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Okay, this is the white paper right here. And it says, commerce on the internet has relied exclusively on financial tissues such as trusted third parties to process electronic systems, okay? So this is supposed to be the point of it, all right? The point is to help speed up payment-to-payment processes through a proof-of-work system on a network where nodes, each transaction are broadcast to all nodes. Each node collects all new transactions on the block. Each node works on finding difficulty proof work for its block. When a node finds a proof of work, it's broadcast the block to all the nodes. Nodes accept the block. Nodes accept the block only if all transactions are valid. Nodes express their acceptance of the block on working on creating the next block in the chain, which is what we just did. Once a node expressed their acceptance, it works on the next block, and that's how we had the block halving. Okay, so let's see here. Reclaiming disk space. There was something in here. Simple payment verification. So this is about paying Bitcoin, right? Combining and splitting value. Privacy is also the point of Bitcoin. That's how it's calculated. There's all the fancy stuff and the code. But you can find all this stuff. Okay, so let's see here. To solve this proposed peer-to-peer network using proof of work to record a public history of transactions that quickly becomes computationally impractical for an attacker to change if honest nodes control a majority of CPU. The network is robust in uninstructed simplicity. Nodes work all at once with little coordination. They do not need to be identified since messengers are not routed to any particular place and only need to be delivered on the best effort bias. Nodes can leave and rejoin the network at will, accepting the proof of work chain as proof of work happened while they were gone. They vote with their CPU power, expressing their acceptance of valid blocks by working on extending them and rejecting invalid blocks or refusing them to work. So guys, this is the white paper. If I'm not mistaken, right? This is it. I don't think the word blockchain is in here, so I'm gonna state that, right? You got blocks, you got nodes, you got payment-to-payment center, you got network, proof of work, which is what it's supposed to be. Let's see here. Yeah, peer-to-peer electronic cash system, guys. Again, this is really what it is. This is what Bitcoin is supposed to be. So I'm not sure about this store value. I'm not sure about replacing the banks. I'm not sure about anything besides a peer-to-peer version of electronic cash system. That's what it's supposed to be. And so it's so volatile right now. I don't understand where the proof of where the store value comes from. And this is why I don't have my clients invest in Bitcoin. We trade Bitcoin because it's volatile. I'm just going to be honest with you. It is volatile. So I'll put this in there. I'll let you read for yourself. Satoshi Nakamoto, no one knows who he is. I'm just not sure. Here, let's go here. I'm just not sure, networking a new kind of money. This is even the Bitcoin website. Okay, this is what it is. Peer-to-peer technology to operate with no central authority or banks. Basically, guys, that's just peer-to-peer payment. Okay, that's all this is. An open source design to the public. Nobody owns, controls Bitcoin. Everyone can take part through many of its unique properties. Bitcoin also exciting use that could not be covered. I still don't see on here, right? Store of value. So this is my issue, guys. I don't see store value. And we're going to go through, there's a lot of Bitcoin maximalists yesterday. I'm not going to go through all the Bitcoin maximalists talking about the down use of XRP. I'm just going to talk about the fact that the hedge funds are going in there. And, I posted something on our Telegram group, by the way. And let's see, our Telegram group, if you click right here on my page or in this description, you can join the Telegram group. And I actually will open that Telegram group. Now, I normally have it open, but I did not want it constantly popping up on my channel. But if you go into the Telegram group, you can see we discuss here. And someone asked me about the podcast earlier today. Yeah, we actually talked about Bearable Bull's video. Shout out to him, by the way. If you have not seen Bearable Bull's video today, go watch it. I know a lot of you guys who come here come from Working Money, the Working Money channel, the Digital Asset Investor, and the Bearable Bull. So those are 3 people who have supported and given out our information here, or my information, the company, New Creation. We're all a New Creation. But I want to say thank you to all those guys, because the reason my channel is actually growing is because of those guys. So when you go there, write in their comments that New Creation Capital gives them much love. Please go let them know that I talk about them and that I give them love. But go shout out to these guys. These guys do their research. I try to dig just a layer lower, a layer under what they're doing. They're kind of giving us our information, and their channels have been around so long that I am trying to go deep and find things that they haven't found, which is hard to do because these guys deep. But right here, this video right here, Trump executed a coup against the Rothschilds banking system. I watched this morning, and this video is well done. These guys are the GOATs of the XRP. So we go in here and we talk about let's see here if I can find the links that were in here. Let's see if we can find links real quick. Photos. Yeah, so I want to show you something. This is the photo I want to show you. So this is when Paul Tudor Jones was on, and we'll talk about this. This is what XRP, I forgot where this video, this picture came from, so I can't give it credit because I don't remember. I just threw it in our chat, and I don't trade on BitMEX, so this is definitely not mine, but I forgot who put this up, but I saw this going around, and I thought it was interesting. And here's why, and this is why I'm going to tell you. We're just going to hear from the Bitcoin Wall Street maximalists, what they're doing, and why I think it's bad for them in this space. That's why I'm glad I'm in spaces where it's not really, because I truly don't think they see a store value, but we'll go into that. We'll let you hear their words. But this was after Mike Novogratz got off, Paul Tudor Jones got off his interview. That's when the dump happened, right after. He said he's got put money in Bitcoin, dump. And so we're going to go over those things, and I just think that is an interesting little tidbit of information there. So anyway, if you're not part of New Creation Cronies, please hit me up. You can do it right here. Again, we have 102 subscribers on YouTube. This is episode 46. Yes, episode 46, and we just did our live stream yesterday. There it is. And so thank you guys so much for being a part of that. Again, you can also go to publishox.com and find all of our information. If you click right here, you can find our audio and our video, and I have it all. We didn't do an audio podcast yesterday. We just live streamed the Bitcoin Halving, episode 45. I'll put all the links below, and you can find everything right there. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I think we're going to see, maybe 500 subscribers is my next target to give away a Ledger Nano S. And I think I'm going to do every 50 comments. We'll do a comment picture on 50 comments, and I will give away, I think I will. 50 XRP for 50 comments. Okay? I think that's not bad. I like that. We're going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that because I think I want to get XRP in people's pockets right now. Why we can do it? Because once XRP, honestly, I'm going to tell you this. Once XRP hits a certain amount, I will not be giving away XRP anymore. But right now, why the price is what it is, I just want to get it in people's pockets. So comment below. Follow, subscribe. When we get to 500 subscribers, I'll give another nano out, okay? But right now, every 50 comments each video gets, I will give out 50 XRP. Sound good? Sounds good? Sounds good to me. Until it hits $1. Once XRP hits $1, it's over with. I need to put that right there so you guys can't come back and haunt me later, okay? So hit the button, hit the notification button there, like the channel, and let's dive into the charts, okay? So Bitcoin right now is at $8,870.51, down 24 cents. Down 24%. ETH is at 161. Oh, it says new version available. Reload. Let's see what it is. All right, here we go. Is this the new version? Let's see here. Talk more with you soon. Someone just shot me a message and said, have a prosperous day, brother. I hope you all have a prosperous day too. I'm going to type, sounds good. Talk more with you soon. I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Yeah, man. Thanks for the shout outs and the positive news to Mr. RK. That was from RK. So when you listen to this podcast, thank you, RK, for the wonderful message right now. You know I was short with you because I am filming this podcast right now. ETH is at 191.44, up 1.63%. XRP is up 0.78%, sitting at 19.8. BNB up at 6% there, I see. Is there anything else that's popping out to me here? Link's up 2% at $3.77. BAT is up 5.5%, sitting at 20%. So and Stellar Lumen up 6.75%, and that is because we came out of a nice little dumpity dump yesterday. But Bitcoin is pumping. It says it's down overall, but to me, as I just literally looked at this, that's strange. Am I on the hour or something? It's down from yesterday at this time. Where was he at yesterday? May 11th at 3 o'clock. Where are we at? Okay, yeah, it's up because yesterday it was like right here. And then Paul Tudor Jones got on here and it dumped. Okay, so, wow. Okay, this is just crazy insane here. Anyway, we're trying to get over this VPVR. Just a little bit of information for you. I've kind of gone on a tangent this morning, but I don't care. This is my channel, and I want to show you guys information. I try to keep it short, but I cannot keep it short. It's just who I am. I just want to talk with you and be a part. So this is a Bitcoin day-to-day because we did the Bitcoin halving. So I'm going to dive into Bitcoin and why I trade it. So one, I want to show you guys. This is volatility. So I got in some trades here. I literally got in a trade here. I sold about here. Okay, I didn't catch the top. I sold at 9K. So 8,400, like 85, I think. 85.35 I got in. I sold at 9,000. Okay, right here. So I swing traded that. And then I got in a trade here, right here, and traded here. Again, I swing trade from 83 I got in up to 87. Did another trade. Then I got in another one at 85, which is right here. I got in here, and I'm currently holding this trade right now. So I am trading Bitcoin. I am trading Bitcoin, one, because I'm not sure it's going to dump, but I'm swing trading. I still have investing. My clients are still invested in some of Bitcoin. We hold an array of a portfolio, okay? So we have a bunch of different coins, and I use our growth investment fund to trade and be aggressive with Bitcoin. We don't trade our other coins. We invest in our other coins, specifically at this channel. And I just want to make sure I point that out. We did our correction, which I called for. We are currently inside of this little channel here. We're still trying to work our way to this apex over here. This is where the apex goes. We are 70% away, 71% away from this apex. So we should see a move here, and we're at the bottom. We did not break. We got our ribbon wave moving here, and I think we could break up and move back into this parabolic channel here. So there's a chance, just based on, the miners aren't really selling yet. They're going to sell a couple months. There's some other channels who've talked about this, so we won't. But I just think that's interesting because right now we're in a good place with the RSI. The Stochie has kind of started to bottom out and curve back up, so I think we might curve here in the next few days. And our MACD is kind of slowing down, so we got a little bearish divergence there. But last but not least, let me point this out to you. And we're looking for this specifically on this 50 and 200-day moving average right here. We're looking for a possible golden cross. So we could have some movement and some explosion. If we make it above this section, this is what's holding us down. Right here, we can move up. By the way, if you guys are not a part of our Friday night and Sunday night New Creation Capital Zoom podcast, a Zoom chat, that means we get on there and we break down all of certain charts and news, and we get in there and we talk about it. And I teach trading to those who want to learn or ask questions. We got some hedge fund traders in there, and we got some brand new beginners. I try to break it down as simple as possible for those who want to learn the basics of trading. Now, again, I don't shill Bybit links or any of that. So, Chico, I agree with you there. I don't agree with how he said it. It's not really what you say, it's how you say it, right? But he probably doesn't care what I think anyway. And really, neither should you. I think you should always do your own research and come up with your own thought process, right? But I think it's important to learn how to trade in this space, because investing will make you money and trading can make you money while you're waiting for your investment to go. And I don't do crazy risk trading. I do small leverage trading, but I tell people leverage trading is the last resort to learning to trade. If you can't read a chart, you shouldn't be trading, and you should never trade off someone else's analysis. Ever. So I tell you what I'm doing here. This is not financial advice, but I just show you what I've been doing and what to look for. And of course, Bitcoin, like I said, it looks like Bitcoin's trying to pump just a little bit right now. It's at 89.50 as we speak, and it's trying to break through, and just a little sell-off there, just a little. It tried to peak and just a little sell-off. Again, I am in a trade, and I think we have, again, breaking this level right here and holding 89.27. This was our first level, 88.63, and we have to break into 89 level for anything to really, really, really happen. Okay, so I'm going to live stream again, not deciding what I'm going to do or when to do it. Let me know in the comments. Live stream Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursdays are the days I'm going to live stream. Let me know what you think, or maybe even Mondays. I don't know. Maybe I'll begin to live stream all the time of any random news I find. I want to talk about either HR 6666, yeah, the number of man, or we're going to talk about the stablecoin research by Deloitte Block Institute. All right, so let's jump into 24 minutes in. We're going to jump into some videos, and I'm going to play the videos for you and let you hear what they have to say. I'm not really going to
our next guest has the mark.
I'm not really going to break down all of it. I'm just going to read the article, play it, and then let you come to your own conclusion. So this first article that I'm going to play for you is with Mike Novogratz saying the bottom is in, even though he just got more negative. It says here, hedge fund legend Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital founder and CEO, says the bottom is in, but the economic recovery will take longer than he originally thought, with CNBC's Melissa Lee and Fast Money Traders guy Adam E., Tim Seymour, Brian Kelly, and Dan Nathan. Okay, so let's see what he has to say. Let's dive right on in.
Bitcoin falling today following the halving. And for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a technical event that reduces the number of Bitcoins rewarded to miners, in turn reducing the number of Bitcoins mined. Mike Novogratz is still with us. So what's your take on the event? It certainly seemed a little bit like a sell the news kind of event, at least initially.
Yeah, a little bit. I think there was a lot of hype going into the halving, right? We've come off from 4,500, so huge rally, a lot of retail participation. There's a great macro backdrop. We've talked about it ad infinitum of why crypto right now, and Bitcoin specifically, makes so much sense. And then you had the news that Paul Jones had bought it, and then bought it for his fund, which is, I think, really, really significant. And so you had a little bit of a retail frenzy. That got sold off. I would expect the market to hold here at 8,000, 8,500, and to start trading right back up. We're seeing at our shop just a huge increase in interest in Bitcoin and getting into crypto from high net worth individuals, from funds. Crypto's not easy to buy. It takes a while to get set to buy it. If it was easy to buy, it would be much higher. And so it doesn't happen overnight, but it feels like a herd is on its way, finally. I coined that phrase a long time ago, and I'd been waiting and waiting for the institutional side. Mm-hmm. I think this Tudor news is very big news, because in some ways it takes the career risk of looking dumb out of buying Bitcoin. It credentializes it as a macro weapon. It might or might not work, but people aren't going to say, "Oh, you were a fool to do that." That's Tulos. No, it's now seen as a legitimate store of value. And I think it'll allow other hedge funds to participate as well.
Yeah, you don't want to be the first guy, that's for sure. BK, you got a question for Novo?
I want to know if Bitcoin goes to 50,000, does he grow the mustache out or does he shave it off? That's the real question.
This was a Corona mustache, and I actually tweeted before. I think this might be my last appearance, because I'm just so sick of this damn quarantine. And maybe if I take it off, I'll end the quarantine.
I do have a real question for you, Mike. So I'm curious. We've seen in the past with these halvings, you see a sell-off 30 to 60 days. Are you positioned that way, where we have a sell-off for 30 days and then the real rally comes, or do you think that's the last two times and we're not going to have it again?
No, I laughed. I had a really original strategy of kind of selling into the halving and then buying the pullback. But we have seen so much activity that I didn't sell a damn thing. I put a HODL sign, hold on for dear life sign, which is a crypto term where the real core crypto guys never sell. I literally really think that the movement we're seeing. Listen, the halving comes almost at a perfect time. If you think about this macro backdrop of quantitative easing on top of quantitative easing on top of quantitative easing, the halving is quantitative tightening, and so it's like an exclamation point on the macro story of why a scarce asset like Bitcoin should go higher. And so I haven't sold. I think I missed the sell-off, and I think you're going to see the thing base here, and we will take out 10,000. We will go to 20,000 by the end of the year. I feel real confident about it. Uh-oh. Did I get cut off?
No, Mike, you're still here. We were going to have Tim Seymour jump in with a question, but there's something wrong with his audio. It's like gremlins here, Mike, with all these remotes that we're trying to work on. I wanted to ask you in terms of, Ethereum contracts started trading today, and I'm wondering if you are in that trade at all and what you see for some of the other cryptocurrencies aside from Bitcoin.
Listen, I have a smaller position in Ethereum, and I think, Bitcoin has this lane of store of value. And because of it, it's almost a finished product. There's nothing that has to happen for Bitcoin to get better. The other projects, Ethereum being the most promising and second biggest, really continue to need to develop the underlying technology so it's used more often. Right? Ethereum is right now used for decentralized finance. Mm-hmm. There's about a little less than $1 billion of DeFi or $600 million of DeFi on Ethereum, and all the stable coins have moved over there. So there's $9 billion of stable coins. And so that's a big deal. As the Ethereum project grows, I think the value will go up, but I don't think it's today's news. I think it will get dragged along with Bitcoin, but it won't accelerate on its own probably for a year or two until it really gets users on the platform. And that'll get valued more like Facebook. It'll be a social network. It'll be a network effect. The more programmers, the more coders, the more businesses built on it, the value will go up.
Okay. One quick question for the traders before I let you go, Mike. Show of hands, who wants Mike to shave his mustache off? Show of hands. No. Wow. No takers, Mike. You're going to keep that thing. Apparently, you're going to keep it.
My Gordon Liddy look.
Great to speak with you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much.
Mike Novogratz. Dan Nathan, what's your trade out of this?
Yeah, listen, that level of confidence, these guys have some history about how the Bitcoin is traded after the past halvings, and he seems pretty convicted that it's taking 10,000. Listen, it wasn't particularly uncorrelated to a lot of other risk assets when things were selling off earlier this year. So you'd really have to buy into the long-term case for this thing rather than a short-term hedge, in my position, my opinion.
Okay, so the article I showed you was for the first part of the video, but then that specific video in that article did not show, so I jumped to the second part and played you the second part of the article in the video. So the first part, he talks about the bottom being in, and that's going to be hard, and then that video he talked about Bitcoin. So I'm just going to let you listen and tell me what you think of that. Write in the comments how you feel about Mike Novogratz. How you feel about Mike Novogratz jumping into that Bitcoin and what his specific thoughts are on that. Okay, so now let's go to the next guy. So if you don't know who Mike Novogratz is, by the way, he's a hedge fund manager of Galaxy Digital CEO on whether Bitcoin's halving will actually boost its price. CNBC's Melissa Lee, we talked about that yesterday, right? So he is Galaxy Digital founder. Okay, Mike Novogratz is a big deal, and that's his Corona mustache. We're just going to talk about that. So next, let's go over to Paul Tudor. Okay, Paul Tudor is a billionaire hedge fund manager, all right? And hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones says Wall Street could be witnessing the historic birthing of a store of value in Bitcoin. Again, here we go with the store of value. We're going to see. And then he says it's a great speculation, Jones says. He said he has just over 1% of his assets in Bitcoin. Every day that goes by, Bitcoin survives. The trust in it will go up. Every day Bitcoin survives, right? I think that's important. We got to make sure it survives. Jones defended his investment, especially versus other stores of value like US dollars, which tend to diminish in value over time as governments spend more than they generate. And then he goes into, and I will play this for you in a second, but let's see. Those were the main points. Let's see. For investors that follow Jones' success in predicting the path of economic events, including his precedent bets against the U.S. stock market in 1987, his foray into cryptocurrency may seem unusual, but Jones defended his new investment, especially versus other stores of value like the U.S. dollar. I think that's the biggest thing. Okay, Jones also said yesterday that the economy would be in a second depression if the coronavirus pandemic doesn't get contained in a year. When I think of Bitcoin, look at it as one tiny part of a portfolio. It may end up being the best performer of all of them. I kind of think of it might be. Why? I cannot read at this moment. He said, but I'm very conservative. I'm going to keep a tiny percent of my assets in it, and that's it. It has not stood the test of time, for instance, the way gold has. So let's jump into this video. You can listen to him actually speak because I can't read. So let's jump into this video and see what he has to say.
For a long time, you were a skeptic of Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies, but you recently appear to have changed your mind about that. What happened?
Well, COVID happened and the great monetary inflation happened, and that made me begin to think about how do you want to be positioned in your portfolio going forward. So that's really what tripped my interest in Bitcoin. And you have to realize, if you just think about, say, Bitcoin versus cash, right? Bitcoin, when I think of stores of value, I think of it four ways: purchasing power, trustworthiness, liquidity, and portability. That's kind of the categories I put it in. So when it comes to trustworthiness, Bitcoin's 11 years old. There's very little trust in it. We're watching the birthing of a store of value, and whether that succeeds or not, only time will tell. What I do know is that every day that goes by and Bitcoin survives, the trust in it will go up. If you take cash, on the other hand, and you think about it from a purchasing power standpoint, if you own cash in the world today, you know your central bank has an avowed goal of depreciating its value 2% per year. So you have, in essence, a wasting asset in your hands. So Bitcoin, I think it's a great speculation. I've got something between 1 and I think just over 1% of my assets in Bitcoin. Maybe it's almost 2. That seems like the right number right now. It's not, for me, it's not the greatest. It's not the great cure for all the monetary ills, et cetera. It's a great speculation. That's what I would say Bitcoin is.
Right. Paul, do you see this, though, in relation, and I'm thinking about tech stocks now, because one of the things we have seen even over the past 2 months is just the move towards virtual. Anything that can be done virtually has had great success, whether it be Zoom or any of the big tech companies in the Valley, because we're all able to do that virtually. Is that the way you see Bitcoin? And separately, do you own gold? I was going to ask at the same time.
I have assets in gold also. I think gold can go substantially higher. And yes, the digitization of the world clearly benefits Bitcoin. I mean, we wouldn't even be talking about Bitcoin if we weren't seeing first cousins like Venmo and a variety of other ways. My children don't even carry cash. They barely even know what cash is. So we're clearly digitizing the global economies. You've seen some countries do it explicitly, like India. You're seeing other countries on the way to do it, like China. So we're getting in an increasingly digitized world, and Bitcoin will be that much more accessible by that universe of people that could own it as a store of value. When you think about every bull market, every single bull market has one common thread: an ever-expanding universe of people who own it. So there's probably, the estimates are between 55 and 70 million people own Bitcoin. We really, if you're buying Bitcoin, your bet is that number is going to go to 120 million or to 200 million. And it's kind of hard when you look around and you see that the world's becoming increasingly digitized, not to think that the preponderance of evidence at this point in time doesn't point in that direction. But again, I am when I think of Bitcoin, I look at it as one tiny part of a portfolio. It may end up being the best performer of all of them. I kind of think it might be, but I'm very conservative. I'm going to keep a tiny percent of my assets in it, and that's it. It has not stood the test of time, for instance, the way that gold has, which has been a store of value for 2,500 years.
Okay, so there you go, guys. He just said the store of value is gold for 2,500 years, and Bitcoin may or may not do that, and he's conservative. I'm the same way. I keep a small portion. I hold Bitcoin, don't get me wrong, but I have more in other assets, 100% sure. Not only speaking of ROI, return on investment, if I got in Bitcoin in 2010, 2011, you know, that whole bull run up to 2018, I think that's some like a 90,000% return, something crazy like that. I did it on my live stream yesterday. Some crazy return. I'm not getting that return anymore. That if that happens, that will blow my mind because I do hold some Bitcoin, but it is a small portion of our allocation of digital asset funds. So, but it's important to hold some, but then we also trade some. So let me know what you think about what Paul Tudor Jones here said. We got another one, and another one here. So you got Chico Crypto in the beginning talking about how he thinks it's all bad for trading. Then you got the other people laughing at him saying Chico's bad for the space. Okay. Now you got yesterday Mike Novogratz also speaking about his aspect of Bitcoin, who is a big guy on Wall Street. Now we got Paul Tudor Jones on investing, and now his small percentage. A small percentage of his is like $5 billion or something crazy. 5% of his portfolio is like $5 billion. I mean, so if he's got 1%, he's got $1 billion in Bitcoin at least. So that's a pretty big deal. We don't have $1 billion. I don't manage a hedge fund that is of $1 billion. If I did, I don't know what I would do. That would be insane. Maybe someday soon, guys. So let's see here. We got another person here. This is Mike Novogratz's article. Already went over that for you guys. Let's see here. I already went over that too. That's crazy. All right. Maybe I can't believe I'm just going to close that out. I must have doubled that. So let's go here into this Bloomberg here. And this is about Roger Ver. Okay, Roger Ver is an executive chairman of digital coin wallet Bitcoin.com. He discusses the outlook on cryptocurrencies, and the largest digital token tumbled over the weekend. Ver speaks with Hadi Stroud-Watts and Sherry on Bloomberg Daybreak Asia. Okay, so let's talk about what I muted that. They always say is I just muted that, and it still played. So Roger Ver goes on here. He talks about Bitcoin. This is actually after the in the middle of the small dump yesterday, or it might be last night because you see it's at 8,600 while he's speaking. So we will go into that. I will play that for you. Then you let me know what you think. Okay. So, and then we can talk about it. Here we go.
And in fact, in the aftermath, we actually saw prices fall. Explain to us the significance of this event and whether the sort of price action you saw on the market reacted in the way that you would have anticipated.
Yeah, I think what they always say is true. You buy on the rumor and sell on the news. Well, today the news is that the halving happened, and now we see people selling. But this shouldn't have been a surprise to anybody that's been involved in Bitcoin. This is actually my third halving that I've been through. And there'll be another one in 4 years from now as well. So that won't be a surprise to anybody other than people that are new to Bitcoin. So basically what happened is, like you said, the miners get half the amount of money that they got before the halving. And so therefore they're shuffling their hash rate around to whatever coins are the most popular or profitable for them to mine. And we'll see that continue to happen about every 4 years.
We've seen this dislocation, if you will, between what economists are seeing about economic prospects and the prospects for a global recovery and what we're seeing in more conventional risk assets and equity markets, right? How has these concerns about the pandemic and what the world looks like post-coronavirus impacted the Bitcoin story, if you will?
Yeah, I think it impacts everything, and I'm very, very bullish on the world economy here. So many people are not allowed to go to their jobs. We see Elon Musk, saying, "Arrest me for getting back to work," and more power to him for taking a stand like that. But if printing money could make everybody, wealthy, why would anybody ever have to work ever? You could just print money and send everybody a check, and that would be the end of it. But it doesn't work. People have to go to the factories. People have to go to the farms. People have to produce the things that people need. And if people aren't allowed to go to work and produce the things that people need, there's not going to be enough things to go around. And so printing money doesn't solve the world's problems. It actually causes more. And the same is true within cryptocurrency as well. And that's what attracts so many people to cryptocurrencies, because there's these hard limits to them where you can't have some central bank or some central monetary authority just create more out of thin air. But that's why it's so important to make cryptocurrencies usable as currencies so that people have the ability to opt out of other systems and start using cryptocurrencies to pay their employees or to receive their paycheck or to go shopping on Amazon or to do all the things in their daily life. And then suddenly people will have an option if they don't want to be, beholden to the US dollar or the euro or the yen. There's another option now, and these cryptocurrencies are providing that option.
Wait, Roger, you said that was pretty much expected, but is it a bit problematic that even with tighter supply, you're not seeing a boost in prices, or is it just because it's already been priced in?
I think it's already been priced in, but remember the tighter supply or the lower issuance has only been going on for a couple of hours now. So if you do expect to see anything happen because of it, it would take, weeks or months for that to be the case. But everybody's known that this is going to be the case for years and years and years. And so I think that it's already been priced into the market for a long, long time.
With the post-pandemic world, people are just cooped up in their homes. We are seeing more and more people just getting on the internet. Will this help the expansion of cryptocurrency?
And one example of that is that there's a poker website where people can play poker using cryptocurrency. And when the lockdown started, the amount of volume and traffic and people playing at blockchain.poker just exploded. And that was I guess that was definitely good for cryptocurrency, but that's a sign that it's bad for the economy, because if everybody's just sitting at home playing poker all day, every day, that means the cars and the food and the things that people actually need aren't busy getting produced. But the amount of traffic going to Bitcoin.com and these other websites have definitely been up substantially since the lockdown began.
Roger, I'm keen to get your thoughts on stable coins. Is there a role for them going forward to sort of, I guess, bridge the gap that you have between cryptocurrency and more conventional investment assets?
And there's clearly a role for the stable coins, and the fact that Tether is one of the top cryptocurrencies in the world, period, is a clear indication of that. But it's important for people to remember that stable coins aren't actually stable. You're still at the mercy of whoever the issuer of that stable coin is to make sure that their assets are backing the coin that they issue. But it's a really convenient tool. If you've ever had to do a wire transfer and then try sending a stable coin, the stable coin wins hands down in terms of speed and convenience and just about everything. So I think we'll see more and more people around the world using stable coins in addition to actual cryptocurrencies.
So your views as to, whether the global economy, whether the US economy should reopen is sort of on par with, I guess, more of a libertarian view on the economy as well. Have you seen throughout this whole sort of, lockdown and coronavirus, COVID-19 induced change to society, a shift in the types of people that are investing in Bitcoin and crypto?
Yeah, I think the type of people that are investing in crypto traditionally have been kind of the contrarian libertarian types, and all of those people have already been involved in crypto for years and years and years. But I think now maybe the people that aren't necessarily of that mindset, they're at home all day, nothing to do, they're surfing the internet, they say, oh, I'll look into this cryptocurrency thing, and maybe they didn't have time to look into it over the last 5 years, but now is the time, and we're seeing so many people, you can buy $10,000 of cryptocurrency a day inside the Bitcoin.com wallet. We've had our highest volumes ever in the last couple of weeks here with people doing that. So it's nice to see. Apparently people do have some money when it comes to wanting to buy crypto, which is a pleasant surprise.
All right. So when he talked about blockchain.poker, I went and checked that out, and I got 100 free Satoshis yesterday to play. And when I left, was done playing, I was at 400 Satoshis. So I'm going to see what I can do there. If I can build up my my Satoshi list, I know it goes crazy .0.0000000, and so I'm in there. Maybe I can earn a half a Bitcoin playing some poker for free, which was pretty cool. So I'm all about trying to earn free crypto. I'll tell you that right now. Even I use the Brave platform. That's why I use the Publisho X. People tip on Twitter. Thank you for all those who tip on Twitter. I think it's pretty big and pretty important to not only be an investor in this space, but a user of the technology, right? And they do a great job of giving it. Even on Coinbase over the weekend, had earned free crypto. So I'm not a fan of Coinbase. I'm going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about the breakdown and everything that happened with Coinbase. Every time there's a pump and every time there's a dump. We went over that on my live stream. But they still give you a chance to earn free crypto. So go check it out. Go take advantage of the system. This guy is a big time bull on it. He got in it again when it was under $1. So he got this in 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. And this guy's obviously made a lot of money on it. So he's got a lot of money on it. Now, again, I'm telling you right now, unless you have $100,000, you can buy, 10 plus Bitcoin right now. It's not really going to change your life per se. How it's going to change your life if you have a little bit of Bitcoin, okay, just a little bit, and what it is going to get you into other currencies, right? It's going to get you to utilize the education that not only comes on this channel, but many other YouTube channels. So go check those out. Different currencies are so important to understand, and the utility of cryptocurrency is pretty big, and make sure you understand that as well. So, today is more of a Bitcoin story aspect of it, whether you're a bull or a bear. I just trade it, so I'm not a bull or a bear on it. I trade what the charts give me, and I hold, and if it goes up, great. But I know I'm not becoming wealthy off Bitcoin. I do believe my clients will become wealthy off other certain assets that I do talk about on this channel. So, all right, so that's the end of this specific episode. We're going to do the giveaway here in a second. But before I do the giveaway, guys, of course, you know what I have to do. I have to read you guys your scripture. And then when I go to this, after I read the scripture, I will go into the YouTube comment picker. So here we go. This is from Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. It says, it's titled Life by the Spirit. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free. But do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you bite and devour each other, watch out, or you will be destroyed by each other. So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with each other, so that you are not to do whatever you want. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissension, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking, and envying each other. And that's what I say. There's no point in tearing each other down here, guys. I'm not saying that you're not forgiven, that Jesus did not forgive you for all your sins when you come to him, and all this crazy stuff. A lot of that stuff I just named in there, I have done in my life, okay? But that is no more. I am now a new creation. I have a new future because I am a new me, right? That's the new you, a new future, a new creation. That's the whole point, okay? Tune into the Sunday scriptures, guys, while I go deep diver into that. But that is, if you want to go read that yourself, by the way, that is Galatians chapter 3, verses 13 to 25. I did a little bit more as I continue to read that. So thank you so much. All right. Now that you have made it to the end of this episode, please make sure you hit the like button, right? Comment. Remember, every 50 comments from here on out, I will give 50 XRP to a random commenter. Okay? It has to be real comments. Let's make sure they're real. Shout out to everyone who subscribed. And because of the 100 subscribers, by the way, I gave my 100 subscribers some XRP. I gave him 25 XRP to my 100 subscriber. And my 100 subscriber was, and I gave it to him. Let's see here. Let's see. Where is he at? Yep, right here. He was my 100 subscriber yesterday. And I shot him with some Bitcoin. Okay? So, This is the video so far, guys, by the way, that got the most comments, okay? And this is my big plan connecting the dots. XRP, XLM, Hedera Hashgraph, IMF stablecoins. 29 likes, 280 views. And on this, we have 20... Oh, I just opened up all the links. 22 comments. That includes my responses, okay? So I'm going to copy this. This has the most. And if you can see here, by the way. Yeah, all of these, this has the most views and comments. So thank you guys so much. So let's go in here. And I'm going to go to this random comment picker. I'm going to copy paste that and see how many 12 actual unique comments. And let's see who gets this. Ready? Drum roll. Hakan Sumari, Amazeball, solid mate. Hey, so Hakan Sumari, you are the winner, man. Hit me up on Twitter, or down in the comments below. Actually, that's probably better in the comments below here on YouTube, and I will hit you up and I will get you your Nano Ledger S to you out in the mail, and we can discuss it. Okay, if he does not claim it in 7 days, okay, I will do another pick of the next video that has the most comments. All right, so I will give till the end of this week, by next Monday. Well, today, what is today? Tuesday, by next Tuesday. Okay, so thank you guys so much for that. So let's check out before we walk out of here where we are at. Let's see. The markets right now are at down. It's basically even, guys. 24,205 is a Dow. 29.22. They're slightly down, but really everything is kind of in the same place. Nothing major is going on in the crypto market. So with that said, guys, please make sure you follow me on Twitter at New Creation Cap. Also, member Publish OX, where you can find all information. Do the YouTube thing, like the button, subscribe, comment, and of course, thank you for those who are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and of course the Anchor platform where you can support and message me. This is your boy Christian Israel, and you are tuned into the New Creation Capital Podcast, a place where we discuss what happens in the world today, where we talk about stories that focus on current events, the stock market, and digital assets. Where we go one, we go all, guys. This is a new you, a new future, and a new creation. Until next time, guys, peace and love. Later.
Let's just follow a $100 check. Make this real simple to the fellow that delivers our mail. The postal worker gets a $100 check. And he looks at this and he can't imagine in his wildest dreams that just 2 days ago that money didn't exist anywhere in the universe. But it's a government check now, and it's very spendable. So he takes it and deposits it into his private checking account at the local commercial bank. Now this money is out of the Federal Reserve mechanism per se, out of the government side of the partnership, and it gets into the private banking side of the partnership. $100 has been deposited. Now the action heats up. The banker looks at that and he goes over to the loan window and he opens it up and he says, "Attention everybody, we have money to loan." And that's good news for a lot of people because that's one of the reasons we go to the bank, isn't it? To borrow money. So it's good news when there's money available. And the banker says, "We have $100 deposited, but don't worry folks, we can loan you more than that. We can loan you up to $900. Well, how? How can you loan out up to $900 when you only have $100 deposited? Well, it's not difficult if you're in the Federal Reserve System. Here's how it works. The Federal Reserve says that the member banks must keep no less than 10% of their deposits in reserve. So there's $100. They keep 10% in reserve, $10. And they can loan up to $90, right? So we loan it to you, ma'am. You borrowed $90. What do you do with it? Well, you want to spend it. So you want to write a check on it. You deposit it into your checking account so you can write a check. In many cases, it might be put directly into your checking account. But now there's $90 deposit, in addition to the $100 that was deposited to start this chain. Now we've got the $90 that was loaned as another deposit. Well, the Federal Reserve says that you only have to keep 10%. So we keep 10% of the 90 and loan the other 90%. And the person that borrows that puts it right back into the bank as another deposit. Well, the Federal Reserve says you only have to keep 10%. So you know, this goes around and around and around to the revolving door until finally the whole action is played out. And the bottom line is, when that $100 deposit comes in from the postal worker, the banks, in essence, can loan up to $900 because $100 is the reserve, and that's 10% of 1,000, so they can loan the balance, or the difference, which is $900. Now, where does that money come from? Well, same place. It springs into being precisely at the point where the loan is made. It didn't exist before, anywhere. Now notice the important thing here. The money that's created out of nothing and given to the government spends for its purposes. But the money that's created out of nothing by the banks is not spent by the banks, it's loaned by the banks to you and to me, and we pay interest on it. Not too shabby. Interest on nothing. I wish I had a magic checkbook like that, where I didn't have to have any money, just a checkbook. And I could write checks, $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 all day long and loan them to you folks, and you pay me interest on it. You see? Not too shabby at all. This, in fact, is the payoff to the commercial banks in the cartel. This scam has become legitimized by law, and we're told it's a wonderful thing. We think our banking system is wonderful, but it's a scam.